Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to another Empires and Puzzles video. And in this video we're going to be taking a look at the October event calendar with my thoughts, insight, and advice on what's available and things to pay more interest to if that's what you're looking to do, and things to steer clear of. And it's a mix of both. If you're getting frustrated with Empires and Puzzles, let me just say that Gemstone Legends probably has the things you're looking for. They have a mercy system that guarantees a legendary hero after a certain amount of pulls, and we're not just talking about a weak legendary hero from a pre-selected list. They have a wish list that you can put any hero in the game on to boost your chances of pulling that specific hero. They take into account player feedback, and many of the changes that have gone live in the game were based on player feedback or were player suggestions to begin with. They're even going to give you a free $50 starter bonus just for downloading from one of the links in the description. If the earlier stuff somehow wasn't enough, you can be a hero in wars even just using rare heroes only. They have tons of events that allow you to earn free 10 pulls and other very usable high value stuff. Gemstone Legends really has a lot going for it, so come check it out if you're curious to see why tens of thousands of people have left Empires and Puzzles to come play. So we've got this new hero of the month, very weak damage up front. He does do some poison damage, very fast speed is also nice, but pretty unappealing, and just the stats are intentionally worse than other 5-star heroes, so they've really created a subclass of 5-star heroes, which are the heroes of the month, both in skill and stats, and that's a little disappointing, but if that's the best option you have, consider the speed being nice, only a level 11 mono troop being needed. However, 150% damage to 1 is almost nothing at all, so it's all the poison damage in terms of the damage that he'll do, and that's easily blocked by any ailment protecting hero, so just keep in mind those weaknesses as you make that consideration. Alrighty, so started out with it looks like finishing up the Ether Summon and Dynasty of Dunes. Both are passes for me except for the free Ether Summon. Crystals that they give, the Dynasty of Dunes, it's just, that's not the best place if you are looking to summon heroes, because there are far better options and they're not offering anything too compelling in there these days. Alright, next up we're at the currently active Tavern of Legends, and we have seen now the new costume Evelyn emerge. Very lazy with these new 2 costumes. They have not hardly changed the skill at all. I think she got 2% more elemental defense down in exchange for 10% less damage. And in beta, she had been a dispel first, and they rolled that back. So you're basically just paying for a stat boost, which is pretty weak, especially considering it's all Season 1 heroes and old Heroes of the Month in there, which, as we discussed, are a subclass of 5-star heroes. So that's... I can't advise doing any pulls in here. The stat boost is nice. Perseus is excellent, actually, but pretty bleak overall. This pickup summon, I don't really understand what the point of this is, but another new weird portal where they just drop a couple heroes in. You can't use coins or anything, so it's gems only. Ruby at one point was the most OP hero we'd ever seen, and now she's still pretty good, but there are still better options, but she's not dated like some of these other heroes are. Like she's 10 times better than Musashi is, for example. And Oni is one of the best taunt heroes. If he had Ether Taunt, he would be absolutely perfect. He does not, but still a fantastic hero and part of one of my best teams. And then coming up, we have the Challenge Festival, featuring Hippo again, which is wild. She has been featured in so many different places, and everyone, I think, is feeling the impending nerf because she's just over the top strong, and something's gotta give at some point, right? And then typically when a hero like this is featured, people are saying, okay, it's their last money grab before the nerf. And this might be that point, but I've said that a couple times now because they've conditioned us to believe that. Looks like we have a brand new Tweedles here. which looks like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I'd guess, because we're seeing two heroes in the little thumbnail there. I don't know anything about them, so if you do, leave that in the comments below, but I do recall seeing Costume Queen of Hearts and her being pretty underwhelming, so this is unfortunately going to be a last-ditch attempt for people to chase Hippo that have not managed to get her so far, and then probably getting nerfed, so we'll see what happens there. That's going to run for quite a while. And then we have the Covenant quest, not saying who is featured there, so I'm not sure. Usually, that's the quest, not the portal, because they don't have the Covenant portal and the Covenant quest overlapping. So just the quest. I feel like those are kind of fun. You get to fight heroes from different families, and usually it's not too challenging. And it's a little bit different because their defense is low, but their HP is really high, if I recall. So it just kind of plays differently, and I don't mind it, kind of like it. War of Three Kingdoms, we have no featured list for that as well, unless it's down below. It doesn't look like it. So we'll probably be seeing a new hero and two older ones, is what I would expect, or perhaps we'll be seeing a one of the more desirable heroes with two less desirable. It makes me wonder if they're going to feature Sha Wujing, because he is all over dominating right now, so I could see them wanting to cash in on that again, but we'll see. Maybe they want to not feature him and see if people will just pull for that 0.05% chance of getting him out of the non-featured. Contest of Elements, looks like two new heroes, Zarya and Nova. If you know anything about these, let me know. Nova looks like the 4-star, since everyone's getting a 4-star, so one new, but I think they still featured 3 last time. Maybe those are just, no, because Ignacio is not new. If you know what Zarya does from beta or something like that, let me know. Ignacio, I think, is the healer, but I always mix those two up, to be honest, so not sure. These are just another one of those expensive portals, with very poor summoning odds, if I remember correctly. Alright, Ascension Summon, no thank you. If they give free pulls, maybe I'll consider it. Then we have Tremors of Underwild, extremely outdated at this point, which is crazy because that's Season 4 and we're only on Season 6, so you'd think they have a little more gas in the tank, but they do not. And they are featuring the just standard Akarog and Zenobia. Ugh. Akarog is pretty bad comparatively. Zenobia does do something that many heroes don't, which is nice, but pretty dated at this point, and I would not recommend ascending her unless you have very few choices. And then Costume Passepartout, I'm sure it's pronounced French, I'm not going to do that, but I would strongly advise everyone to stay away from this portal. Even if you have free coins, save them for the next one. This is a very poor offering. Even if that costume is great, not worth the risk because these other two are so weak. So if you're low on gems or saving coins and, you know, spending a minimum, definitely avoid this because it is pretty bad. All right, Goblin Village coming back. In addition to Atlantis Rises again, Costume Tarlac, Costume Inari, Iris and Viselis. Also, I would recommend steering clear of this. If you got free coins and one of these would be useful, you can do that, but even the costumes are pretty underwhelming. And like, you know, you might think, oh, well, Tarlac's good for Titans. I need him for Titans. I don't think you need him for Titans. You need a decent Titan hero. I don't bother switching up the colors like that. I just use Mickey everywhere. Obviously, Mickey is not a hero that everyone has, and I understand that. But, you know, if you have a few free coins and you want to try your luck, go for it. But I strongly recommend not doing much in this portal because the offerings are pretty poor. And it is not including the new Season 6 heroes. It's just Season 2, so steer clear. One of the better portals this month is going to be the Goblin Village, because they just have ridiculously strong abilities, like over the top strong. So this Mad Hammer was one of the featured bosses from the event. She seems quite good. I forget what she does, but it involves dealing a lot of damage, and then they all have those excellent passives and everything. If you know what Boom and Fang does, I remember that name from beta, but I can't quite recall what they do. But those heroes are over the top strong and better than anything featured so far, I would say, by quite a margin. Second place, in my opinion, would probably be the Contest of Elements, because stat-wise, they're very strong. They all have like a weird drawback to them where you need to hit like a certain element to do the max damage, which I don't really like, but they are typically very strong. All right, Clash of Knights. It looks like we don't know what's going to be featured, but certainly we'll be seeing some new heroes, because we have not seen this event in quite some time. So new refreshed event, new heroes, from what I saw, as you would expect, pretty over the top strong. We'll see how they are released from beta afterwards. That'll be running for quite a while. New Path of Adventure begins. Valhalla Forever. I don't know what costume Lady Loki does. Haven't seen that one yet. Heimdall's pretty good, but he's still slow speed, and seems like the rush meta is kind of moving on from revivers, just because of how strong these other heroes are, that just all out aggression seems better than sticky teams that are hard to get rid of. Costume Lord Loki, yeah, pretty good. These are all kind of dated, though they did get the updated costume bonus recently, but in special skill wise, not the strongest. I'm not calling them bad, but not the strongest. However, I guess it would depend on what costume Lady Loki does, because the other two are definitely decent and offer something of distinct utility. She was pretty bad to begin with. An interesting skill, but not very strong, and she kind of drifted into oblivion. I forgot about her until I saw this, actually. All right, Untold Tales. We've got... this has not been correct before. Oh, by the way, shout out to the Heimdall bot and Zartanis for putting this calendar together. So yeah, Forces has supposedly been featured multiple times now, and was supposed to be featured more than he actually was, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe it's just hard to predict, or for all we know, they're just changing it at the last minute and not being predictable. That's certainly possible. We've got a new hero, Persa. If you know what she does, let us know in the comments. I can't recall. Galapagos is just very strong from a stat perspective, and people are using him just for that reason. He's built terribly in the way that he functions. Just a poorly executed design, but the stats are so inflated that it doesn't matter. So yeah, and then Forces is great. Etherton is nice. Strong hero. Okay. Lastly, Dynasty of Dunes again, featuring Sobek, Khonshu, and Esset. Steer clear. There's better places. If you do insist on summoning, there's better places to do it. Yeah, they were good, but they're not as good as many of these other heroes. So I would say my top choice, just in terms of heroes, would be the Goblin Village. As always, proceed responsibly. Don't go crazy. None of this stuff is worth it. That would be my top choice, I think, in terms of heroes. But for overall value, I think Untold Tales still has it, because they have the summon chest, and the summon chest has been very good to me, better than any of the other ones that have ever existed in the game, where I've gotten routinely multiple 4-star ascension items in a chest in addition to bonus pulls. So best value overall. Also keep in mind this stupid goblin portal, they're like, oh, if you pull a legendary, you get 2, but they cut the chance of getting 1 in half. So it's a 0.5% chance, but you get 2 if you hit it. So I think it's a psychological gimmick to make it seem like it's a bonus, when in fact it's probably worse I know you might say, well, 0.5 times 2 is just 1%. It's the same, but I don't think that's actually how it works, because overall you're getting a lower chance. And I realize how the simple math looks there, but I'm pretty sure that that is a worse chance overall. Otherwise, I don't know why they would do that. It's completely arbitrary, unless it just makes you think you're getting more and you're actually not, because, yeah. Either way, it's a gimmick. And then, what do we have? Ether Summon again and Costume Chamber. Double Costume Obicon was good for a little while, just has fallen by the wayside, and I don't know if you saw this, but triple costumes are coming out. And they're all cartoon based, and someone made an interesting point, which was just being that it's a cartoon version, they can probably have AI design all the art, which then saves them a ton of money. So another potentially very lazy cash grab, and just the whole costume thing made sense when there was one. Now that you're up to 3 costumes, it's just a different hero at this point. Like the special skill stays similar, but you're paying for a stat boost. It's just overall it's a new hero because you have to pull them again. So it's not like what a costume actually is. You're just like have to get a whole new hero again that just looks similar. And double costume Horcall. There's merit there, but slow speed and overall not that good. So anyways, those are my thoughts on the October calendar. Let me know if you guys have anything to add, or if you know the function of any of the heroes that we discussed that I didn't know from beta or something like that. Any other thoughts you want to share in the comments, let me know. Hopefully you guys appreciated the insight in discussing this calendar. And that's it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to show your support for the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.